Okay, so our next attribute is previous names. So this is one of the attributes in KYC, and it's mandatory to identify the previous names of an entity. So if you are doing KYC for any entity, you need to identify what are the previous names. So previous name is old name, you can say that. And let me show you the sources to collect the previous names. So to source the previous name for private limited company, you can source it from V1, V2, V3, V4, and V5 sources. Now let's see what comes under these sources. So under V1, we have these sources, under V2, we have this one, and under V3, we have these sources, and under V4, we have this one, and under V5, we have different third-party websites, evox, and we can source the previous name from any of these sources, except Wikipedia and Yellow Pages, because anyone can edit these pages, so you cannot consider this to verify the previous names or old names, or you can say the former names. Okay. So I'll show you one example for the same Barclays Asset Management Limited. So we have already searched the company registry. Let's search the name again. So this is the UK company registry, which we have already seen. And here you will see the previous name of the entity. So this is the previous name. And this entity, the Barclays Asset Management Limited, have changed the entity name in this period. So from 2099 to 2013, and they have changed the name in 2013. And after that, this is the current name of the entity. So let's update this name also in KYC tool. Just copy this name. We have this section, the identification of previous name, trade names. Just update the trade name, sorry, the previous name, and under type, select it is a previous name. And then you need to update the URL as well. So this will be the URL. So it is one of the requirement from the MNCs or investment bank. Whatever information you are updating in the KYC tool, you need to provide the evidence for the same. So we will update the evidence for this information as well. The legal name, legal structure, entity status. We will update the URL here. So it is mandatory for all of the investment bank to provide the URL and PDF document as well. So it will be easy for any auditor or checker whenever they verify this case, like from where you have collected this information, so they can see the URL, and they will just click on the URL and they will verify the name, like you have correctly updated or not. But that's the reason it is mandatory to provide the URL and the PDF document as well. So you need to save this document in PDF format as well. Just click as Control plus P. So you will get this view. In layout, select portrait, and in destination, click as Save as PDF, and then just click on the Save. And then different investment bank or MNCs follow different naming convention. So most of them follow the unique ID of the entity. you will get this unique ID for all of the companies from the investment bank or MNCs only. Just update the unique ID underscore the company registry and just save. So that's how you PDF the evidences, and you need to upload this evidences, this PDF documents in KYC tool as well. So in KYC tool, you will have this one tab, the document matrix. Just click on this. Here you can upload all of the PDF documents, whatever documents you have collected to perform the KYC on the entity. And then you can just tick mark on the documents, like you have collected proof of registry, then just click on this. If you have collected proof of regulation or proof of exchange or annual report or client website, accordingly, just click on this, the tick box, the checkbox on the document types. Now, let me show you one more example. In the Delaware state, you will not get the previous name because there are no options here. So all of the registries will not provide the all the information. So you need to search on different sources to gather those information. Like in UK Companies House, you will get the previous names and the nature of business as well. But in Delaware state, you will not get the nature of business or previous names. So you need to source those information from the different sources. So let's say you are not able to find the previous name from V1 sources. Under V1, you are not able to find the previous name from company registry, then you will check the certificate of incorporation or trust deed, LP or LLP agreement. And if you're not able to find the previous name from these sources, then you will move on to the next V2 sources, the regulator website or website exchange. So we'll cover all of this one by one whenever we encounter different attributes. But we have already seen like what documents you will get for the private limited company, what documents are the main documents for trust entity or LP or LLP agreement. So if you are doing KYC on private limited company, you will not get this trust deed, correct? Because trust deed is only available for trust entity type, and you will not get LP LLP agreement for private limited company because this is the main document for limited partnership or LLP entity. So we have already seen in the previous sessions. Let me show you once again. So under trust, we have seen what are the main documents in trust, the main parties in trust. Oh yes. So for trust, the main documents, trust deed or declaration of trust. For limited partnership, it will be a certificate of limited partnership or LP agreement. So if you are doing KYC on, okay. So if you are doing KYC in private limited company, you don't need to search for the trust deed because you will not get the trust deed for private limited company. Just give me a moment. Okay. So that's how it is important to remember what documents are required for which entity type. If you're doing KYC for private limited company, you will not get this LP or LLP agreement. But if you are doing KYC for private company, you will get this document because in entity type, we have seen this is the main documents for private limited companies. So let me show you how the certificate of incorporation looks like. So you are doing KYC on this entity. So you will just go to the UK Companies House, click on the filing history, then click on the incorporation, because in incorporation you will get all the incorporation documents. So under we have these different documents under incorporation. This is the certificate of incorporation. Just click on this. So this is the certificate of incorporation of Barclays Wealth Funds Limited. This is our entity's name, Barclays Asset Management Limited. But at the time of initially, the old name was this one, the Barclays Wealth Funds Limited. Hence, you will get the certificate of incorporation or the MOA, AOA with old names only. So when company registered this entity on UK Companies House, the name was this. At that time, they have filed this certificate of incorporation with old names only. And if you scroll down, you will get all the different information like names of directors, the nature of business, and all those information. But you cannot collect from this document because it is already outdated. So in KYC, whenever you are doing KYC, you need the evidence or documents within 1 year validity only. So this document is filed in 2009. So it's almost 14 years old. So you cannot consider this because it is already outdated, and the information whatever is updated in this document is not up to date or it's not current. Yes, in the certificate of incorporation only. Okay, so under certificate of incorporation only, you will get these documents, the memorandum of association or article of associations. So if you are giving interview in any MNC or investment bank, the interview may ask you what all information you get from UK Companies House. So you should say the legal name, the company number, the address, company status, company type, nature of business, previous names, and under filing history you get the annual reports or the certificate of incorporation or AOA, MOA, and ownership as well, the names of directors. As of now, just forget about other jurisdiction like US or any other jurisdiction. As of now, we will just update in your CV like that you have worked only for UK companies. So interview will ask you only the questions related to UK Companies House, the UK based entities only. Now we have seen the certificate of incorporation. We will not get the trust deed or LP, LLP agreement for a private limited company. So you don't need to check this one. We have checked this one as well. Any other constitutional documents, it's same. We have already checked the certificate of incorporation, MOA, and now the other documents are prospectus and PPM. So in entity type, we have seen this document is required for the fund only. So only fund entity types will issue prospectus or private placement memorandum, PPM. The private limited company will not have these documents, the prospectus or PPM. And government's website, it is only applicable for government entity. So if you are doing KYC on any government entity, then you can consider information from those websites. But for private limited company, you cannot consider the government website apart from the sources listed here, like registry, regulation, or exchanges. And then comes under, there are sources which comes under V2, which is regulator website and website exchange. I'll show you later on whenever we will be sourcing the proof of regulation or proof of listing, then I'll show you how to search on these websites. So we have covered legal name and previous name as well. So any doubt in this, in legal name or previous names? Adrij asks Divya. If you have any doubt, then please ask. Oh, yes, no. और कुछ तो बोलो, क्लियर है या नहीं है? What about others, As or
नहीं
Adrij?
है कोई।
Okay. So समझ में आ रहा है करेक्ट, या कुछ समझ में नहीं आ रहा है, कंफ्यूजन है?
नहीं अभी तो नहीं है सर कंफ्यूजन।
ओके, परफेक्ट. Okay, the next attribute is an alias or DBA. So it is the other business names, or you can say the trade names of an entity. Or for individuals, it could be the nickname. So an entity could be registered with some other name, and they might do business with some other names. Like there are different brands like KFC. So KFC registered with some other name, but they do business with KFC. Same goes with MACD. Or there are different a lot of you can say the brands which is registered with some different names in registry, but they operate or do business with some other names. So in KYC, you need to identify those names as well. So let's say you are doing KYC on Barclays Global Investor Asset Management Limited. So you need to identify the sorry, you need to identify the what are the uh, allies or business names or DBA, the doing business as, or alternate names, nicknames. You need to identify the name, the other names of the entity as well. So we have one example for Barclays Global Investor Asset Risk Management Limited. Here is the link provided by the company. Let's open this. So this is our entity's name, Barclays Global Investor Asset Risk Management Limited. This is the legal name. I guess it's not there. Previously, it was there. It was mentioned under a previous. No, I guess it's not there. Let's check some other sources if you are able to find the DBA name. First of all, before identifying the DBA name or the trade names, we need to check what are the sources to collect this name. So just go to page 30 for private company. For trade name, business name, we can source this information from these sources from V1 to V5. And now what comes under V1, V2, and V4, V5? Let's check this. So these are the sources which comes under V1, V2, V3, V4, V5. So the first source is company registry. You need to check if the trade name is available on the company registry. So if you are doing first time KYC, so you might not remember that what other information we get from company registry. But since I'm doing KYC since last 8 years, so I know that UK Companies House doesn't provide the trade name. So I don't search on these sources. But if you're doing KYC at initial level, so you will not remember all this information. So it's better to check each and every source which is mentioned in the SOP. So first we will check the UK Companies House, the company registry only. This is the registry for UK, which is UK Companies House. Let's search the entity name. This entity, So there is a space mentioned after investors. That's the reason we are not getting this hit in UK Companies House. So just remove that space and then click again, search. But again, there are no hits. Let's check once again. So here they have mentioned the Avid, and this entity is already registered in United Kingdom, but we are not getting the hit in UK Companies House. So let's search with the company number, copy this. We have one more source where you can identify the country of incorporation or company number, but this is not approved source. You cannot consider information from this source. The name of this source is Open Corporates. It's just for the reference. Here you can search the entity names for all of the countries, and you will get the country of incorporation, company number, and some basic details. Okay, so this entity is registered in United Kingdom only. Just click here, and you will get this company number. Just copy this, and with company number, we will search in UK Companies House. Just remove this and enter the company number, and then click enter. It is very strange that it's not giving any hit, because this company is registered in UK only. Okay, let's skip this entity. I'll show you some other entity. So we have already checked what are the sources to collect trade names. We can source trade names from these sources. Now in the registry only, let's search with let's search Barclays PLC. So we have this entity Barclays PLC. If you are doing KYC in Barclays PLC, you will just search this entity name and in all those sources which is mentioned in SOP to check if the trade name is available for this entity or not. So a trade name or business name is not mentioned on UK Companies House. You can see this is the legal name, this is company number, this is registered address, the company status, the company type public limited company, it is incorporated on this date. Then we get the nature of the business and then the previous name of this entity. Now what is the next source? We have checked the company registry. Now we will check the certificate of incorporation as well. Just click on the incorporation document to get the certificate of incorporation. Just go to the last page. Yes, we have the certificate of incorporation. Both are the same. Just click on this. So this is a certificate of incorporation and it is filed in 1900. So you can collect the trade names, business name from this document as well. But since I have done KYC on UK Companies House or the UK based entities, I know that certificate of incorporation or the MOA, AOA doesn't provide the trade name. So I will not search all these documents. But initially you can search all these documents to check like what other information you get from these documents. In this document, you will get the basic details like when company is registered, what is the name of entity, the registered office, the objective of the entity, and you will get the names of directors as well. So you can just search one by one, like what other information is available in the certificate of incorporation. Now we will not check the trust deed because we know that trust deed is available only for the trust companies. Same goes for LP and LLP. It is available for the LP and LLP entities. In MOA, you will not get the trade names, but at initial level, you can search the documents as well to find the what other information you will get from these documents. Again, these documents will not be applicable for private limited company. Now the next source is the regulator's website. Now how to search on the regulator website, who are the regulators for the different countries. So it's mentioned again in this Excel file only. If you are doing KYC for UK entity, just in the country name, filter out with United Kingdom. And under sources, we have different sources like charity registries, then regulation, then Scottish charity registry, stock exchange, trade registry. Now just filter out with sources as regulation. So these are the different regulations for United Kingdom. But one of the main regulators for United Kingdom is this one, the FCA, Financial Conduct Authority. So in interview as well, the interview may ask you provide the name of the UK regulators. So you should remember the name of the regulator. It is FCA, which is Financial Conduct Authority. To search on this regulation, just copy the name, go to the browser, and paste and enter. So this is the regulator for United Kingdom, which is FCA, Financial Conduct Authority. This is the search page. You can search the FCA with entity name and the reference number, which is regulator ID, but you will not have the regulator ID. So by default, you need to search with entity name only. This entity, I guess, might not be regulated by FCA. Yes, so Barclays PLC is not regulated by FCA. If you don't find the name on the regulators, you can say that this entity is not regulated by FCA, which means this entity is not regulated, but other entities are regulated here. So we can escape this. I'll show you later on. Now we have checked these sources to identify the trade name, but it's not available. Now we will check the website exchange if the trade name is available for Barclays PLC. Again, go to the Excel under sources name. We will just search with the stock exchanges. So for United Kingdom, the stock exchange is London Stock Exchange. Just copy this URL. So different countries will have the different stock exchanges. Like in India, we have a Bombay Stock Exchange or National Stock Exchange. So for United Kingdom, it is a London Stock Exchange. For US, it is New York Stock Exchange, or the one more there is. Okay, so this is the search page of London Stock Exchange, and you can search the entity name here. Search for course, news, and documents. Just copy the name of your entity, which is Barclays PLC. Search here. Okay, so you have got multiple results now. The different types of instruments like the equity, bonds, all these are bonds. So in KYC, you need to consider the entity as listed or yes, whenever you are doing KYC, you can consider the entity as listed whenever you find the instrument as equity only. I'll show you one more time. So once you just enter the name here, you will get the different instruments like equity and bonds. So you can only consider the entity with where the instrument type is equity. You cannot consider this entity. Just click on this equity. So this entity is listed on London Stock Exchange. This is the name of entity. This is the current share price of an entity. This is the ticker symbol, or you can say unique ID for the stock exchange. You will get all these details, but it's not relevant in KYC. As of now, we are just searching the trade names of an entity, if this entity has any trade names or not. So trade names are not mentioned here again. Now we will check the other sources to find the trade names. Now the next source is annual return or annual report, you can say that. So again, go to the UK Companies House to check the annual reports of our entity. Just remove this incorporation filter. Okay, now we need to find the annual report of an R entity. Just scroll down here. In UK Companies House, you will get the annual report where the name will be mentioned as the annual accounts. All of these are not relevant to us. Oh yes, this one. This is the annual report group of companies accounts. So in UK Companies House, you can find the company's accounts or the annual accounts. That is the annual report of an entity. And this document is filed in 22 only, but it is made on 21st. We need the latest one. So whenever you are doing KYC on any entity, it is mandatory to collect all the evidences within 1 year validity only. You cannot consider any document which is expired or it's more than 1 year old. So let's click on the accounts to check if we have the latest annual report. Yes, so we have the latest annual report, which is filed in 23. And the next annual report, they will file in 24 in the month of May. So it's not due, it's still within validity only. So let's open this document. Okay, so this is the annual report of an Barclays PLC. This is the name, and this document is uploaded to the scan document, and hence that's the reason you cannot search in this document. You need to read the document, or the other option is to find this annual report publicly. So if since this entity is listed on London Stock Exchange, so for all the listed entities, it is mandatory for them to upload the annual report on public on the website itself. So you can find this annual report on website as well. And in that annual report, it will be searchable. It will not be scanned documents. So this is the scanned document. You cannot search anything here. You need to read each and everything. to find out the different information. So let's find this annual report publicly if it is available. Just enter the name of an entity Barclays PLC plus annual report. So this is the official website of Barclays PLC. Just click on this. And we have this annual report filed in 23. Just open this one. So in this annual report, it's not scanned pages, so you can search in this document anything to extract the different information. You can just search here. So for the trade names, let's search with the keyword as a trade name, trade. If they have mentioned anything related to trade name, or search the DBA. So there are a lot of hits for DBA, but it's not the what we are searching for. It's coming under feedback. Let's check few more. Again, it's for feedback. So that's how you search the different information in different sources. But at initial level, you need to search in each and every source to check what information you get from these sources. But since I've done KYC on this, so I've done KYC on United Kingdom, the UK based entities. So I know where we get the DBA names or the trade names or the other names. So one of the easiest sources to get the trade names or business names is the LEI. So we have this LEI document. In the LEI document, you get all the trade names. So whenever you need the trade names, just go to LEI and you can search that in the LEI if the trade name is available for that entity or not, instead of searching all these sources. But at initial level, I would suggest you to search all these sources one by one, so you know how to search on these sources or what information you get from this. Okay, so we were at the LEI only. So whenever you need the trade names or the business names, you can search on the LEI directly and it will provide you the list of the trade names. And you can directly consider that from LEI instead of searching all other sources. So I'll just show you how it looks. Just go to our Excel file, filter out with global, because LEI is not for any specific country. So just type global and you in the global section, you will get different sources which is applicable for all countries. Just copy this LEI URL. And then click enter. Okay, this website is not working. Let me show you another website for the LEI. Just type LEI entity search. So this is the website for LEI. Just click on this LEI search. This is how it looks like, the search page for the LEI. And under this section, you can search with entity names. So currently we are doing KYC on Barclays PLC. Just copy this name, go to LEI, just paste here. Yes, we have this hit Barclays PLC. Just click on this. So this is the name Barclays PLC. This is the LEI code, primary legal name. Okay, so the LEI have not mentioned the legal, the trade names or business name of an Barclays PLC. There's one more source which is Evox data. Just we will search in the Evox data as well. If it doesn't provide the trade names, then we can assume that this Barclays PLC doesn't have any trade names or other names. We can go back to our Excel. We have this Evox. Just copy this URL, then paste. So this is the search page for Evox. Just search with entity name Barclays PLC and click enter. There are a lot of entities with different name, Barclays Bank Ireland, but we need the Barclays PLC. So we need we need entity which is incorporated in United Kingdom, and all these are for Ireland. So we will just click the place of incorporation as United Kingdom. So you'll get the hits for United Kingdom only. Yes. So we have this Barclays PLC. It's with same name, but there are 4 names, and all these are listed as a branch, division, and here it is, they have not mentioned anything. So we need to consider this only. So this EBIT belongs to headquarter. Since we are doing KYC for the main headquarter and not any branch entity, so we will not click on this, the branch entities. We'll directly click on this one. It's a headquarter because they have not mentioned anything here. So we can say that this is the headquarter and not any branch or division. So just click on this. So they have not mentioned any trade names. They have just mentioned the previous name. So we can say that this entity doesn't have any any trade names or other names. So you don't need to search on any other sources now, because LEI and Evox provide the list of trade names of all countries if that entity is listed here or mentioned in the Evox or LEI. Any doubt in this? So if you're not able to find the trade names or business name, then you don't need to update anything under trade names. You can keep that field as a blank. You don't need to select the trade name or anything else. We'll just keep it as it is and just move on to some next attributes. Any doubt in this? Divya, Sadrij? Yes, no. But don't be confused. Once we cover all these attributes, we will show you the live cases as well. We will show you how to perform KYC on different entities like private entity or regulated, then fund cases. So don't be confused as of now, like how to search the trade names or previous name and all those sources. The next attribute is physical address. Team, is it clear, right? Am I audible?
Right.
Okay. So let's stop here.
Yes.
At trade names only, and then from next weekend we will start with physical address and registered address, and then all those sources like company registration number, entity status. All these are very easy. The registered address, we have already seen that in company's house, the company number. So all these attributes are easy one. You will get all this in single document only in the registry itself.